This video is going to be showing you how to mark up your drawing in Photopea. So basically what we're going to be doing is this. Okay, we're going to be comparing our drawing to our actual picture, and we're going to be making some markups. Maybe not as many colors as this, but some pretty important information is what we're going to be doing here, okay? So pay attention to what's going on, how I'm doing it, and it should be pretty easy for you. So first of all, first thing I'm going to do is I go to classwork. I'm looking at Unit 4, Part 3, Self-Critique, right? Okay, so let's go ahead in here. Sorry, didn't mean to do that. Okay, so I'm going to come over here and I'm going to open Photopea first. So open up Photopea. One of the things that I'm going to do is I'm going to open from computer. I'm going to open the collage that I made yesterday or the day before, whenever, but I made this collage, right? So this is what I'm going to be using. Now, once I have this open, making sure that I'm logged in, that's cool. All right, I'm going to go to layer. I'm going to go new, and I'm going to create a new layer. Okay, now you'll notice over here that I've got this layer and I've got this layer. Okay, I am on layer 1. So whatever I do while on layer 1 is going to be saved. Now, I'm going to slide this over so that way I could see. Wow, why do I have two of them? I don't know. So I'm going to slide this over here. Okay. Now, over here, you should see that you've got white and black, what do you call it? White and black squares over here. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the white one and I'm going to make it red. So once I click on this, it'll open up this color picker. I'm going to click on red right in there because I want it to be red. Click OK. All right. And you'll see that this becomes red. That's what I want. Okay. So again, click on the white, choose red. You could choose blue if you really want to. You could choose green, whatever. It really doesn't matter to me. I'm choosing red. Okay, then over here in the middle is going to be my brush tool. I'm going to click brush. All right, and then I'm going to see like this little crosshair moving around, right? Now, you'll notice that again, I'm on layer 1. Okay, that's important. I need to be on this top layer. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come in over here to my drawing, and I'm going to start looking at proportions. I'm going to start looking at shapes. So I'm going to hold down shift, click. I'm still holding down shift, click, click. And basically what I'm doing is I'm drawing around my objects. Now you'll notice there that it created a triangle. So I'm going to go for the bottom here, going to hold down shift. Notice how that draws a line because I pushed down shift first. So I'm going to control Z. So before I hold down shift, I'm going to click, shift, and then I click again here, and it creates my other line. You see that? I let go of shift, come back to the middle, click, hold down shift, and I click, and then that gives me a better shape. So that's the key thing that I'm looking at with that. So there's my triangle, right, or my cone. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at the spacing between these. Okay, that's one thing I'm going to do. I'm going to look at the size of the sphere. Let's look at that. I'm going to find the middle of it as much as I can. So I'm going to I'm going to click, shift, hold down shift, click again, and it draws a straight line across. Cool. All right, and that tells me how wide my sphere is. Okay, I'm going to come on over here against this side here. I'm going to click, hold down shift, going to come straight up, and notice that the sphere, now I let go of shift, notice that the sphere is actually in line with the side of this object. Right, now I'm going to look and see over here. So I'm going to click, shift, come up, and I notice that this edge of this object actually is not in the middle, right? So this line, it doesn't line up with the middle of it, okay? Those are things that I'm looking at. I'm going to look at the bottoms here. So I'm going to click, hold down shift. I'm going to draw a line straight out. Cool. And I'll notice that the bottom of this is not in line with the bottom of this. So I'm going to click, shift here, and I'm going to click on the other side too. So notice how the side is right there. All right. I'm going to get the angle of this. So I'm going to click, shift. There we go. Okay. So I'm checking my angles, right? Those are things that I'm doing. I'm going to check the size of this thing. So I'm going to click, shift, click, and it draws a straight line that comes across. So I could see how big this thing is. I'm going to look at the bottom of this. Okay, I'm going to click, hold down shift, come over to the side. Okay, and I could see where the bottom of that line is, or where the bottom of that object is. Okay, now the reason we're doing this is so we could see how well our drawing is done compared to our objects. So when I come over here to layer 1 and I click on move tool, all right, you're going to see what's going to happen in a second. Before I do that, I'm going to come over here, layer 1, I'm going to right click and I'm going to duplicate my layer, and it creates a layer 1 copy. Click on that, move tool, awesome. Now what I'm going to be able to do is I'm going to be able to move this over and line up my objects and see, oh, whoa, some of my things are way off. I could definitely tell over here some of these things are off. I mean, I could come in here, hold down shift and enlarge a little bit to make it fit my objects a little bit more accurately. Okay, so I'm going to enlarge a little bit more. Okay, there we go. Click the check mark and you'll notice that, ooh, I've got some stuff to fix. I've got this to fix in here. The cone isn't that bad. If anything, I just need to go a little bit wider, a little bit shorter. Look at these angles here. So something's up. I had this way too low. This is in a good spot, but I definitely didn't make this object big enough. Okay, so those are things that I'm checking. Those are things that I'm going to be looking at. Now, one thing that I could do as well is I could come in here because I forgot some things, right? So I could add in another layer if I wanted to. Come in here. All right, so I'm on layer 2, and I'm going to change my color. Let's go to green. I'm going to go OK. And one thing I didn't check was, again, brush tool. One thing I didn't check was I didn't check the spacing here. So I'm going to click, hold down shift, going to come across there. Okay, that was not a very straight line. There we go. Going to check the spacing here. Okay. So remember, I'm always clicking before I hold down shift, so that way I could check my spacing. It tells me, how big things are there. Now, another cool thing that I could do here with this is I could actually check the size of one object compared to another. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and leave that there. I'm going to create a new layer here. Cool. I'm going to do this in blue so you can see the difference. Click OK. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare my circle here with the other objects. So I'm going to come into here and I'm going to go ahead and do my best to kind of trace this object. Okay, yeah, it's not great. That's fine. I'm drawing with a mouse, right? So I'm going to try to get this as good as I can. Hey, that's not bad. Cool. Now, once I've done that, what I could do is if I come over to layer 3, duplicate that layer, click on move, I could look and be like, okay, the cone is a little bit bigger. This 8-sided or this 20-sided die is about the same size. And the cylinder looking thing is definitely what? About a quarter bigger, maybe a third. Okay, so I'm comparing size and I'm using what's existing there to be able to do it. So I could go ahead once again, then I could do that over here. I could trace this out. So I could come in over here. Oops. I need to be on my brush tool. Okay. And I could come in here and I could trace out my drawing. Oh, here. Cool. Going to do my move tool. Now notice it moves all those other objects too. So I could look and I could compare. I'm pretty, my proportion's pretty good there. My proportion's way off there. What about over here? My proportion is, yeah, it's off. compared to the cube, yeah, it's off. So see how I'm comparing those things? That's what I want you to be doing. And then you're going to be, once you've made your comparisons, you've got your markup, I'm going to go ahead and go layer. I'm going to merge down. Okay. File. Okay. I'm going to save as a PSD first. Okay. And I'm going to, once again, I'm going to put that in my folder that I created. And I'm going to, so it's collage. I'm going to call it collage 1 markup. Save. So then later I could come back in and edit if I need to. Then I'll go File, and I'm going to export as a PNG or JPEG. Again, I prefer PNGs because they don't deteriorate every time that I save. Okay, I'm not worried about this. I want high quality. I'm going to click Save. I want to save it in the same folder I had before, collage 1. I'm going to markup, but I don't want it as a PSD. I want it as a PNG. There we go. Save. And there we go. Right? Now what I'm able to do is come back over here, and I'm going to be able to click on the Padlet. Padlet opens up. Click here. I'm going to find that markup right there, right? I'm going to open it. That's doing its thing. There it is, right? Then I can go back over here. Okay. I'm going to edit my assignment because I'm going to select this here, and I'm going to add it there so that way it matches. Okay, that's what you're doing. Got it? If you have questions, please ask. Yes, I know this is not the easiest thing in the world to do, but it's also not the most difficult thing in the world to do. Okay, so just let me know what you need help with, and I'll be more than happy to help you out.